Oh, hi. Here are the three scripting mistakes that you must avoid, or else you're not gonna be a pro scripter. And why you should learn it from me? Because I have 5 years of scripting experience and I have gone through this by myself. And I'll tell you that why you shouldn't go through these mistakes at all. So, here's the first mistake, not using module scripts. You ever open up your script and feel like you're staring into a mess you wrote at 2 a.m.? That's what happens when you skip module scripts. Everything ends up feeling very messy. So, my first point is you should organize your scripts. If you actually want to work on your game long term, you have to organize it like a real system. Module scripts let you split your code into engines, one for combat, one for UI, one for movement, instead of mashing everything into one script that will soon explode later. That way, you don't end up rewriting the same system 5 times every time you want to update something. This was the second gun system I've been working on for past like 2 years ago. I was working on it, and look at this mess. It's compiled in a one code, like literally a one code. And I did use module scripts here, but very minimally. I never truly utilized them properly. All I did was just keep writing code in one line until it just wasn't maintainable. And now we are in the another place where I'm actually try using module scripts. So this is how I actually organize them. So I can just first show you the local script. So this is how I actually declare module scripts, not really needing to require them all the time. I can just require them once and then I can just use this shared variable to access every module script without even me needing to require it all the time. So this is how I'm just organizing them. This is much more cleaner in comparison before how I was doing it. So I'm utilizing classes here, and for input I can just use this. I'm actually not using this module yet because it's still in a beta feature, the input action system. So I just kept it there so that whenever it releases, I can just use it very simply. And movement, I can just do it here. This is how you can actually make chunks of code and then reuse them, and you can just make it more reusable and you can easily modify them. So it would actually go more for a long term, but still systems get obsolete. So you at some point you have to still recode the system. So yeah, stop writing spaghetti code, start building systems. That's what module scripts let you do. And trust me, your future self will thank you. Alright, let's go on to the next mistake. Mistake 2, scripting without a goal. Here's the truth, most scripters don't actually know what they're building when they start typing. They open up a script, start typing random lines, test it once, and then spend the next hour fixing problems they created by not thinking 2 steps ahead. The core point I want to share is if you don't know the purpose of your script, it's going to end up bloated, messy, and probably broken. You need to ask yourself, what is the script supposed to do exactly? What input is it handling? What's the expected outcome? Is it handling UI? Then it should only care about UI. Is it handling damage? Then why is it also teleporting players? What most scripters do when they want to actually create a system, for example, if you want to create a gun system, you're just like starting to type, I'm gonna type how I can shoot the weapon. And Then you think, okay, I'm now gonna make it functional to make it reload the weapon. And then soon you start to think of, oh, I can add this feature. I can add jump fatigue. So as many times the player jumps, it starts to slow down so that people don't spam jumps. And then you just keep typing and then thinking of a new idea, then typing and thinking of a new idea. Your structure is gonna get messy. So I'm gonna show you how you can avoid making that same mistake. So firstly, I had to plan what features I'm gonna add to the game. So for me, when I was working on my grappling system, I was thinking technically how I can make it more functional and make it more easy for me to code. So what I did, I created the first core infrastructure. So I just planned out that I will design a state manager module, then create a grapple manager, then grapple profiles, move resolver, and much more like client to server communication. And then I slowly built up on like microsystems that I actually needed to do. So I actually planned it like before like June 1st actually. This is where I planned, and I kept deadlines so that I'm not gonna drift away from what I need to do. This actually improved how I actually do my work. I did it far more efficiently because I had a direction. I had a vision that I'm gonna finish grappling system. So I'm actually not finished with the grappling system yet because a little bit of complication with animations and stuff. So what I want to say is random code leads to random bugs. Goal-driven code builds real systems. All right, let's move on to mistake 3. Over engineering everything. Let me guess, you just finished a 6-part OOP tutorial and now you're rebuilding your entire inventory system using meta tables, classes, interfaces, and server authoritative validation for a simulator game. Congrats! You entered the land of over engineering. So let's get to the point. You don't need a tank to move a box. What I mean is, over engineering is when you build complex systems that solve problems you don't even have yet. You're adding features, layers, abstractions, and systems that are technically impressive but totally unnecessary. So, examples I can call out is a custom signal event systems. When bindable event works fine, multiple module layers for something that's only used once. But what you should do instead, build a minimum functional version of the system first, get it working, get it tested, and then improve it based on actual needs. Write code for the current scope, not for imaginary features you might add later. Things are gonna get more spicy here. This is the art of what over engineering is gonna look like. Yeah, and this is the third version of my gun system. So what I did, I added multi-threading to it, which is damn unnecessary because I'm not even having any performance issues. I'm just dispatching everything from cube, cube, beginning and input, leaning, input, and a lot of fluff. And look, so much like task dot synchronize, desynchronize. Like I'm like full blown trying to micro optimize everything and thinking this trick is really cool. I should add this to the game. But in reality, I shouldn't add it because I have no problem with my gun system. It's not having any performance issues. There are no heavy calculations that are being used. And when I try to look at the code, no, it kind of spins my head. You get me, no? Because This was all unnecessary. You don't really need this. I'm now gonna show you a code that is actually useful, but it's still not that good. But so here's my AI. I think I actually tried to add linked list for this too. So for my AI module, I actually used multi-threading for this, and this was much more proper because this is the AI for my Operation Assault game. So I'm gonna be having multiple AI, so it's gonna lag a lot because humanoids are really laggy, and I need to split the tasks. Uh, I mean, you won't understand these terms really if until unless you know multi-threading. So if I have a lot of AIs, I'm not using multi-threading. That means I'm gonna create more load to the game. But how if I use multi-threading, I can just split everything, and then the game starts to run more faster because execution is more faster. This is how you should use systems. Like you should use really good tech. Like multi-threading is really good. You should always use it when you have actual problems. So here we're gonna wrap the section here with over engineering is just procrastination in disguise. Stop building system for system's sake. Build for the player. Because being a scripter isn't about writing smart code. It's about writing clear, lean, focused code that does what it needs to do. Nothing more. You're not designing an engine for NASA. You're making a Roblox game. Chill, man. So, if you're serious about scripting, stop messing around and start using a system that scales. Code with intent, build with structure, fix with purpose, and stay fine.